My name is Grace Harrison. I'm 19 and I go to CU Boulder.
My name's Izzy Neves. I go to Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, Arizona. I'm majoring in biomedical science with a minor in chem.
Hello, I'm Malia.
And I'm Darby.
Where do you guys go to school?
CU Boulder.
CU Boulder.
My name is Marley Higgins. I'm 19 years old and I go to Colorado State University.
My name is James Brandt. I go to Western Colorado University.
The coronavirus has hit the world by storm. It began in Wuhan, China in December of 2019. On January 21st, 2020, the United States saw its first case and a month later, its first death. On March 13th, President Donald Trump declared a U.S. national emergency. People began to take precautions with social distancing and staying at home. California was the first state to declare a shelter-in-place order, and after that, the rest of the states followed. COVID-19 is a virus that not many people know about. What is known about the highly contagious virus is that it's an airborne virus, meaning you can catch it through respiratory droplets produced when an infected person coughs or sneezes. The United States alone have suffered from over 1 million recorded coronavirus cases. This virus has led us to the world we know now. Stores began to close and take more precautions with all of their customers. Schools across the nation, from elementary school to universities, have closed, resulting in students all over to continue their studies remotely via online class.
Like most other schools, we went fully remote, so they sent everybody home and did only online learning, and for the kids who couldn't go home, they just moved them into another big dorm, like the international kids and stuff like that. But even the international kids were starting to go home, so they were like constantly sending emails like, just go home, pretty much.
Before I came home, they weren't really doing anything, to be quite honest. Like, they didn't really say anything, but after we got home from spring break, they told us that we weren't coming back for like 2 weeks, or that it was online school for 2 weeks. And then they just like put the whole semester on online, but all of our dormitories and like food stuff is still open on campus, but we just don't have any in person. And they said that if you moved out by like a certain date, you'd get a certain amount of money back.
They canceled in-person classes and moved to online, and then moved everybody kind of out of pushed everybody kind of off campus.
Well, they mostly encouraged it. They didn't tell us, and then
Yeah.
later on they're like, okay, actually no.
Yeah.
Everyone evacuated.
Like everything closed.
So CSU, they had us be online for 2 weeks after spring break, and then they were going to reevaluate. But then they changed it to the rest of the semester being online, and so far we're going back in the fall.
I'm definitely missing out on hanging out with my friends and going to parties and like just being in the dorms. Like, even though it was hard for a little bit, I still loved being able to walk down the halls and hang out with my friends. So that's definitely been hard. And like not being able to like go to classes every day and having to do that, like your self-regulation kind of stuff, just like I can't do it, so.
I had to go home from Flagstaff, so I'm just missing. This week would be my finals week, so I'm just missing out on the last couple months of my freshman year, and and being with my friends that I made there.
Just social interaction, I think.
Living in the dorms for the rest of our freshman year.
I'm missing out on my second semester of my freshman year in college, being in the dorms for the last time, being on campus as a freshman because it's a different experience than every other year, and just overall the college experience.
I am trying not to think about that, and I'm trying to just enjoy being at home with my parents, making the most of it. I think if I was missing out on anything, I'd say going to restaurants.
I definitely feel like I do. I'm not wearing masks as often as I probably should be, but like When I go into the grocery store, I don't tend to hang out near people, but I have been seeing some friends, and I mean, going and seeing family, I feel like that's probably not recommended, but I have been doing that, so.
Yes, I do, but like to a point. Like I think that it's super important. I have been hanging out with like my 2 friends, but I feel like that's alright because if they've been doing the same thing and not really doing anything, I think it's fine to like hang out with them and be safe outside. We haven't really been hanging out at like each other's houses. We just do outside things, which I think is totally fine.
I think, yeah, I only really see like a selective few people that are also pretty much quarantining.
Yeah, me too, and like I do take it seriously because I wouldn't want anybody else to get affected by it who might get like seriously sick from it.
Yeah.
I took social distancing seriously for about a month, and now I'm hanging out with like 2 to 3 people, but that's about it. And I still like use hand sanitizer and wear masks in public, but I'm not hanging out in big groups or anything, just small groups who also are doing the same.
Yes, I do, because I don't want to be part of the problem.
Only one of my classes were meeting on Zoom, and the other classes were like, just do it at your own pace. And so I finished 3 of my classes, so now I only have 1 more, and most of them were like, watch whatever we upload and then take a quiz whenever you're ready. So, and then the Zoom lecture wasn't even mandatory, so I didn't really, I only did school at like night.
Yeah, a lot of my classes, like my chemistry and math, are every other day. And then I used to have my labs, like chemistry lab and bio lab, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So those days were always crazy for me, but now I have like nothing to do on those days because I don't have to go to lab. And it's just all like online labs, but they just like write a paper for like what you have to do, and you just have to like do some research on a topic or something. So I think the labs really got hit hard with the coronavirus just because like they didn't really prepare for it, and it's hard to do a chemistry lab online because you can't use chemicals. Yeah.
My classes, I had honestly classes that were mandatory that transitioned to Zoom classes that weren't mandatory, and I didn't really go to any of the Zoom classes that weren't mandatory. So, but all of the classes that I had Zoom classes actually, other than one.
None of mine had Zoom classes. We just have assignments now and like lectures to watch.
I just went to one because it was mandatory.
None of the attendance is required. They record all the lectures and post it on Canvas, but not like nobody goes to the lectures, and I don't think anybody really watches them just because it's so hard, especially since it's not required. So, yeah.
Half my classes were very interactive in-person classes that are now pointless.
Like what?
Like acting class and film production got stupid because we can't use cameras from the school or the right editing software. I have one professor whose English is their second language, and it's really hard to convey information excuse me, over Zoom. And then my 4th class is actually doing pretty fine.
I hope we get out of here soon. I'm done with this stuff.
My like little thing that I'd say is like, eventually we'll get there. Like it'll be there sometime. You just gotta keep positive and try not to go insane. And like, yeah, that's basically it. It'll be there eventually. We'll get there. And hopefully I get to go back to school in the fall because that's the only thing that's keeping me sane at this moment. So yeah.
Okay.
Just stay home.
Wash your hands.
Campuses all over the nation have been abandoned by students. The University of Denver has been left empty. At such a time of uncertainty, there is no way to tell what the future holds All we can do is stay home and hopefully be able to return to normal in-person classes in the fall. I hope to hear the bells echo over the campus as they once did when I walked to my classes.